Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Morning Brunch. I'm Sheridan Hertig.
And I'm Nathan Kitchens.
And here's what's on the menu for today's brunch. First, we're taking a look at our favorite stories from today. Then toupees are making a comeback. Could we catch you wearing one? Ba, ba, ba.
Speaking of toupees, also have a look at your weather in our last bite. This is actually not a toupee, to be honest. It's my real hair.
Sure.
I swear.
He said it's all natural. All right, before we scroll in, on Nathan's
it's
toupee.
Real. It's
He's
not
like,
glued on.
No budging. On my plate today, do you ever ask AI chatbots for health advice? Well, in a study published in the British medical journal, researchers asked 5 popular AIs questions about cancer, vaccines, and nutrition. They found half of the information given was inaccurate and incomplete. The study's authors cautioned that AIs cannot reason or weigh evidence and cannot be relied on for accurate health information. Now, the reason this story is on my plate today is because there's a lot of stories that we read that sometimes I feel like are very self-explanatory, just obvious, street knowledge, just things that we should know. But I think a lot of times we've been turning to AI for simple questions just because we maybe don't want to do the research. And I understand that. We live in such a technologically friendly world now that at the touch of your fingers, you could figure out pretty much the answer to anything you want to know. So I don't blame people for going to AI and asking health-related questions. Lord knows I do that on Google. So is that really much different? But I think the best thing when it comes to your health is always to go to your doctor. I mean, they have studied, they have gone their whole life with learning to be a professional, and they're obviously going to give you the best advice. And worst case scenario, reach out to multiple doctors just to really get the information that is going to help you and be best for you. How many times have you searched anything in general on Google regarding your health and you've gone to WMBD and something frightens you and suddenly you have cancer? The amount of times that has happened. So obviously I think it's important to recognize where your information is coming from and double check it with multiple sources, or triple check it, I guess I should say, with multiple sources. And obviously if it's really a concern of yours, go to your doctor. They're going to give you the most important information.
Yes. Yeah, the reality is everybody's different. Their bodies are different. Symptoms, what might seem like it's something that could be really grim, like if you search on Google, it'll give you like the worst possible thing, and you think, well, that's surely it. And I'll see people who just self-diagnose themselves because they look on Google. But the reality is, like I've searched before, like high blood pressure, and then it talks about how like, oh, you're gonna have a stroke and all this stuff. If your blood pressure is above a certain point, and then it just makes you so scared. And it's, I mean, there's good stuff on there. It'll give you very general things like I'm having this symptom, so what does that mean? What does it mean if I have high blood pressure? It'll give you kind of a list of different things that might be causing that. But reality is, you got to go see your doctor. Don't just rely on Google for everything, because it's your life and you want to be healthy.
Absolutely. And even when going to your doctor, sometimes they don't purposefully leave out information, but I think they think you know a lot regarding your own health. And so sometimes there are questions that are left unasked and unanswered. So for example, I was at the hospital maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. And this must have been before that, actually, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago now. And I was vomiting profusely, like throughout the day, very, very dehydrated, cannot get anything in my system. Go to the ER, and they end up telling me that I have a really low white blood cell count. I shouldn't have Googled it because a low white blood cell count could also mean you have leukemia, which I do not. So do not Google things, because all it's going to do is make you worry and fear. And just make sure you're asking your doctors to also clarify what they're saying to you also, because sometimes we don't understand their jargon.
Yeah, I mean, AI, it's great for a lot of things, but you just have to be careful with it. The same goes with weather too. It's a lot of times with weather, it's really not good.
Yeah.
For like general weather patterns across the country, sure, but if you're looking up your local forecast, it's best to keep with the humans. We know a little bit more than those machines do. So.
Absolutely.
Well, on my plate today, the McLean County Chamber of Commerce hosted their spring job fair at Heartland Community College. There were 45 different employers to connect with students who will soon join the workforce. In-person, remote, hybrid, full and part-time jobs were all offered, with remote jobs seeing a decline actually in recent years. This is the Chamber's first workforce event of the year, and there are more planned in the future. This story stuck out to me because it's great to see students with all of these options kind of laid out in front of them, because that's one of the biggest things when you're going into college. You're trying to figure out your life. You may not even know, like, what is my future? What do I like? What do I want to do? What am I passionate about? What will I excel in, right? Because there's so many different things, and sometimes it's just there's not a clear path for you, but sometimes it's just simply connecting with these local employers of these great businesses across Central Illinois and getting to know them, connecting with them. And I mean, a lot of times in these places, you can get a job like right on the spot, fill out an application, and just put in a good word. And it's a great way to really get people, you know, kind of that ease, that burden on them that, oh, you got to figure out what you're going to do, where you're going to work, and this could be a really great first step out of college. Even maybe if it's not exactly what you're kind of aiming for, it might be something that might really work for you. So it's cool to see these opportunities kind of given to these students to really find and connect with local employers here in Central Illinois.
Yeah, absolutely. When I went to Bradley, I went to multiple job fairs while I was a student, and it got me 2 jobs while I was in school, going to those job fairs, because it showed me opportunities that I didn't know were available and connected me with people who I didn't know were people who I could connect with. And once I connected with them, I, you know, was able to set up interviews with them after the fact. And there's just a lot to being able to go to these job fairs. And even if you're not taking the typical college route and going to a college job fair, there are other job fairs out there, not just centered around colleges. So I highly recommend finding some if you haven't, you know, been able to find a job, just because there are a lot of opportunities out there. You just have to know where to look.
Yeah, a lot of times people, especially students, they don't realize the opportunities that are actually there.
Right. And
it's good practice for them to really learn how to talk to a potential employer, how to be professional, and how to conduct an interview and things like that. Because that's tough, and that can be very intimidating, especially depending on what type of job you're going into, because you want to sound smart, you want to make sure you act like you've got the credentials that are needed for the job, and it can be a really scary thing, especially your first time trying to get that first job. It's really tough sometimes. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So practice, talk to people, and, you know, being able to go out and meet people is always very important. Those connections are really key. All right, this is a fun mega question of the day. If you had to speak in only movie quotes for a day, what movie would you pick?
That is tough. I'm going to go with the classic one, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Doesn't he say like something about imitating a hot dog?
There are so many different ones. I mean, the one that sticks out to me, oh, I saw it. It was a Run by Fruiting. Oh, the terrorist.
Yes, that is a great movie.
Did you not leave a tip?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. Like I was thinking of drama movies, like thriller movies, because I watch a lot of that, but that would be a really bad choice, I feel like. I need to do a comedy. Oh gosh, what comedy would I choose? I have absolutely no idea. And it's funny because there's not a lot of movies that I watch multiple times. I really like 50 First Dates. That's like probably one of my favorite movies. So maybe that would be, if there are some funny lines in there. We'll just go with that. Okay. I can't think of anything else. I see movies every single weekend, and I couldn't tell you what movies I've seen before. Yeah, that's what happens. All right, well, we have a lot to talk about after the break, especially finding out if the toupee is making a comeback. So don't go anywhere, because I'm sure you're going to want to figure that out. All right, welcome back. I know this is the story that everybody's been waiting for.
Yes.
The toupee is making a quiet comeback. According to an article in UK's Guardian, there are all new generations of hair systems right now where particle hair pieces are glued directly to the scalp and styles to match existing hair. Now, these modern pieces use human or synthetic hair, so they are more natural looking. They're also priced lower than hair transplants, which can cost thousands of dollars. To the men in the studio, would you wear a toupee? We have 2 men in here. Would you?
I mean, it depends. I would just be proud, regardless if I didn't have hair. I'd be bald and proud.
You'd be proud if you didn't have hair.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it's supposed to be, right? And it looks really good on a lot of people, including our director in the back. It's a great look. You know, the receding hairline and everything. But But I feel like if it makes you happy, it's a good thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have thick hair, so I'm hoping it's not going to be a concern for me. But if God starts the aging process on me someday and I start losing my hair, I would consider it, depending on because people remember me from looking a certain way, and I don't know how the bald look would be on me. So
I think you'd look great. But wait, so one of the cameras is moving. Where are we trying to look? Okay, we'll get it eventually, maybe. There's this girl that I watch. That's our director, Mark, who I've told he should get a toupee, actually. I told him he should get one. But I was saying, there's this woman that I follow on TikTok, and she also has Facebook. She goes by the Toupee Queen, and her toupees look phenomenal. And you see those before and after videos for guys who, have lost their hair. There was one story that was really, really touching, actually. It was one firefighter who was fighting in the LA fires, last year, and he has not grown hair back since. And so he just kind of has patches here and there.
Yeah.
Ended up going to her and watching those before and after videos before they look a little upset, not their best self. And then once they get that toupee on, you could tell it's like immediate 360. They're so happy.
Yeah.
So I think as long as it's done well and you go to the right person, toupees are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, how many times do women change their hair, and we're not going to approve of toupees?
Right.
Like, I think it's only fair to be accepting of both.
Yeah,
So.
as a man, you need to have self-confidence, and if that's what brings you joy, having that hair, if it's, then why not?
Absolutely.
Now, I will say some of them don't look very good.
You got to get the right one.
I've seen some toupees. I was like, yeah, it's it's very obvious, because if it's like a dark, like brown, but then they have gray below it because it's.
Got to get them something that matches, looks good, is exactly your hair texture. Like there's a lot that goes behind it. But yeah, I think it can look really good.
Yeah, I don't even know how they work. Are they just like glued on? And essentially?
The woman that I watch, she gets a glue that goes on both the toupee, and then also she shaves
Scalp.
the top of the head, and then it goes right on the top.
Yeah, it probably needs like a smooth surface to sit on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it looks phenomenal. So I mean,
cool.
like these men, they go from like a 3 to a 10.
Okay.
Like just because their toupee is on. All right, anyways, go ahead.
Yes, a cake created as an April Fool's joke turned a bakery in a suburb of Detroit into a viral sensation. The Homestead Kitchen Bakery posted this picture on Instagram of a brownish gray lamb with a buck-tooth smile. The caption read, "Order your lamb cake for Easter." It got more than 4 million views on Instagram.
Boy.
The bakery then made them available for purchase, and they sold out.
Wow.
And they also clarified that no, the ugly lamb cake isn't what their cakes usually look like.
Sure.
Look at that. It's so cool, though.
I actually love it. Have you seen those ugly dolls? Oh God, they're like monsters, and they like look ugly on purpose.
Really?
There's a specific brand, but they're so ugly that they're cute. And I think that's what this lamb is giving. Like ugly, but really cute because it's ugly. It's like some chihuahuas.
Sure. Yeah. Like I had a chihuahua. I know exactly what you mean. So ugly, they're cute. Double ugly is what we called her. So.
Double ugly?
Yeah, I know.
God,
Poor
what a
thing.
nickname.
But I can't imagine the owners of this bakery, they ever thought it would go this far.
Yeah.
They thought, oh, it's a joke, but people don't always understand that, and they take it literally, and it looks pretty cool.
I would like to see what else they have to offer, just because now I'm curious, like, are they serious that their cakes don't really look like that, or are they just joshing everybody and they're just trying to get people to go to their website? Which, honestly, very smart move.
Yeah.
So.
They know what they're doing, apparently.
Absolutely. All right, well, how long should we work to be happy? According to job scientists, we should be working no more than 6 hours a day. After that, our happiness level continues to decrease. This, according to the study. And know what else makes us happy? Moving our body. That same study that says not to work more than 6 hours a day for maximum contentment also says to exercise up to 4 hours a day to be truly joyful. That is absurd. So basically, work 6 hours, then work out for 4, and you should be the happiest you've ever been. I'm here for the 6 hours of work.
Absolutely.
That would make me very happy. The working out for 4 hours, I think I'd be content. Maybe working out for an hour if I got it into my habit, my daily routine. That's one thing you really need to make working out a habit. But for 4 hours is absurd.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll go walking for an hour or so maybe, you know, after work, but I'm not going for 4 hours.
Yeah,
so
no.
that leaves you like hardly any time to actually enjoy yourself. I mean,
Right.
4 hours of exercise does not sound very exciting. I mean, it's great if it boosts your mental health, but I can't imagine 4 hours is it's gonna actually do the opposite. It's
Yeah.
gonna wear you down. And,
Yeah.
but now the 6-hour workday, now that there's science to it, that should be,
Implemented.
yeah,
Yeah. Amen.
across the board.
Same salary though.
Exactly. All right, well, is this mine now?
Yes.
Okay, for anybody that wears facial makeup.
Oh, this is for you.
Exactly, it is. Here's what your lip color says about you. That's according to makeup experts. Bold red means confidence and leadership. It says action and energy. It tells people that you're passionate and ready for new challenges. Up next, soft pink. The delicate pink tone says that you're sweet and empathetic. You're romantic and tender-hearted. It's also a color that invites trust and warmth. And if you're more into coral or peach lipstick, you're optimistic and energetic. You enjoy social environments. Warm browns mean that you're reliable, grounded, consistent. It's also perfect for anyone who wants to project strength and maturity. And finally, natural lips. If you just prefer a nude or natural tone, you're balanced and authentic, you're self-assured, and don't rely on excess to stand out.
This is
Oh, goodness.
usually, I hate this. Why are we zoomed in so much? Ugh.
I never do.
What do you have on
I go with
today?
the more natural look most of the time. So
I think you should go with a red.
I like the
bold
bright red.
This
yeah.
is so horrible. I really despise
I do think the
this
bright
right now.
red is like a bold look. I mean, you're like Bosch. You're up there at the top of the top.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I was in high school, I was in show choir and we had to wear red. And I genuinely think the color you wear is what looks good on you. Red looks terrible on my lips. Like a lot of people want like a bright red. That looks so bad on my skin tone. I cannot wear that bright red. Maybe like a darker red would look good. But I always try to do like warm browns and like darker colors because of my skin tone. Otherwise, like
Sure.
I have lipstick on and you can't really tell right now. Just because the color of my lips is darker, or are darker.
Yeah,
so
I would have never known if you wore lipstick or not. It's not an obvious thing, which I think is good.
I know
what you're
you.
going
I know
for.
you ask every morning
I
to
do.
make sure I put mine on. So, yeah. So I guess what did it say about my dark brown? It said reliable, grounded, consistent, and I project strength and maturity.
Wow.
All right. Well, look at that.
Who knew the lipstick says so much about you? But the more you know.
Right. There you go. All right. We might have to change my color up. Well, this one's interesting. The Slinky is an iconic toy, but it has quite an interesting backstory. A man named Richard T. James created the Slinky by accident while he was trying to create a spring for naval ships. Now, the invention prompted Richard and his wife to start the James Spring and Wire Company to mass produce the Slinky as a children's toy. It made them super rich. But in the late 1950s, James became disillusioned by money and material things and joined a religious cult. Oh boy.
Wow.
He donated nearly all of Slinky's earnings to the cult, left his wife and kids, and moved to Bolivia. It sounds like something out of a movie. His wife, Betty James, was able to salvage the toy company. She built it back up, but she never saw her husband again. You know what?
Never saw her husband.
Red flag, but also green flag for Betty for moving on.
Yeah, look at her.
I hope
I can do this without you.
Yeah, exactly. I hope she enjoys getting that bag and, running her own company and playing with Slinkies her whole life.
Never knew there was such an intense backstory to how Slinkies were created in the first place.
It makes me want to do research into Lincoln Logs or something.
Right.
Or maybe what are the monkeys that connect to each other? You know what I'm talking about? Barrel of monkeys.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes me want to do some research into that. Not really. Okay.
All right. Well, you might have been doing a little spring cleaning this month, but did you ever wonder how it became a thing? Turns out before modern heating systems were installed, homes were heated by coal or wood, which left behind layers of soot on the walls, or soot, I think is what I should say, on the walls and furniture. Once the weather warmed up, people were forced to scrub their homes to clean and wash those layers of soot away. And nowadays, it's associated with fresh starts, renewal, and opening your windows to release winter allergens and let fresh air in.
Interesting. This is another thing. I wouldn't have known the backstory.
Yeah.
And I think obviously there's a difference between spring cleaning and like your regular cleaning, but I also clean all the time that I feel like it's not necessary for me to spring clean.
Yeah.
However, when the season rolls around, I definitely open up my windows and it just makes the area, like the room or the apartment, just feel cleaner. I don't know.
Yeah, it just gets so stuffy in there after a long winter, and you just need something to just kind of air it out a little bit. Because I don't have any ceiling fans or anything, so it just gets real stagnant and stuffy in there. There's nothing like a fresh spring breeze, and you open your windows. Can't beat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the coal thing is true. My grandma talked about when she was, growing up, they had coal, to heat their house, and you would get that residue all over the place. So that is interesting that's kind of how spring cleaning came to be.
Yeah. Well, I'm here for it. I think it's important to give yourself a fresh start every year. All right. Well, speaking of a fresh start, we have some interesting weather on the way, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. As we come to a close, here's your last bites. We'll start with the joke of the day. So how do mice floss their teeth? Always wanted to know this.
It's funny because 5 minutes ago I looked at the answer and I already forgot.
Or as our prompter says, beef, apparently.
Oh! Just say the answer.
With string cheese.
I think it's funny because in the prompter, like everything's spelled wrong.
I was trying to think, like, is that? I knew it's not a word, but like, is he trying to trick us? But
so mice do not floss their teeth. Their teeth, though, maybe with string cheese. All right. Anyways, weather-wise, tell us, lay it on us. What do we got today?
Yeah. So we've had some rain earlier this morning. We're catching a break right now. So if you're heading out for lunch, things are actually looking okay. We've got a lot of clouds out there. But later today, rain chances are going back up, especially after 3 o'clock here. And we could even see a few strong to severe storms. So want to make sure you have ways to get warnings just in case. So again, keep the raincoat handy today if you're going to be out and about. We'll be looking at a 70% chance of showers. But tomorrow we should dry out and see some sunshine, 77 degrees, be in the 80s Friday, but then only in the 50s by Saturday with storms looking likely Friday night.
All right. Well, I guess we'll enjoy the warm weather while it's here.
That's right.
Nathan, thank you so much. That's all the time we have this morning.
Have a great day. We will see you again tomorrow.